Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Sand Meat Market Sam Broyles Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the Chucky Doak Black Knights basketball team. As always, I'm sitting here with Black Notes head coach Sam Broyles. Coach, how are we doing this week?
Doing good.
It's no more snow now. We finally got all that washed away. All the ice is finally melted. You finally feel a sense of normalcy now after having all of that. How good does that feel to finally be back to a normal schedule?
Yeah, because we're winding down. As you know, I think, we're a week away from senior night, our last game. Be Cosby next Thursday, so gosh, time flies, don't it?
It does. And that happened in close to the middle of January. Now here we are, February 1st, the day we're filming this now. It's a time of the year where basketball gets a little more exciting and a little more stressful with it being February and tournament time coming around. But let's talk about some of the previous conference games into the past that have led up to where we're at now in this spot, in this time. So we'll start with the West Green game that you had. You finally got it in after all of the snow. I think you had to cancel it beforehand because of strong winds that night, and then had to postpone a little bit of everything. And then you finally got that game in. Talk about that game that you did, I think, ended up being here the first time and ended up coming out to a 20-plus point win.
Yeah, if I remember right, that was a close game for three quarters, and we were able to pull away in the fourth. I think we were able to get after them, in our press, and they turned it over some, and, they missed some easy shots. And, we got hot in the fourth quarter. It seemed like it was six-point lead, and what we ended up winning by 20. I think we outscored 14 in that fourth.
And then Christian ended up having a highlight play that game. That was one of his more impressive plays that he's had, blocking a shot on the three-point line and then racing down court for a dunk. You've seen that a few times, and it was impressive to see that in that game with the county rivalry.
You're right. That's what started our run. Because when those 2 points, it just kind of energized everyone.
Yeah.
Look what happens, Chris. You play defense, and he did, and he's seen how he can, change a game.
And then you moved into the South Green game a little bit after that too. Ended up being one of those that you probably like to look past. Had a 20-point lead at a point in that game, and then South Green ended up coming back to win that game. I know you've got them coming up soon. You've got them tomorrow night. It'll be tonight as the time that this airs. But take me through that game against South Green and take me through some of the things that you want to work on going into tomorrow night's matchup.
Well, we want to do, a better job against their press and their half-court trap. Of course, we went through a spell, too, where we kind of lost our mind and, didn't get the ball where we're supposed to, didn't get where we were supposed to. And, whether it's coaching or whatever, just in the heat of the moment, it's something that we'll work on and we're getting better at. Any, negative thing that we see that will, that we know that we need to work on, that's what, just like the West Green game. There were so many things that I can pick apart from that, but we'll get better and keep working.
And then you had Happy Valley following that game with South Green. Got back on the right track with a win over Happy Valley here at home. It's always good when you can erase that thought of having a loss in your previous game and then think back to the previous game being a win. Take me through that Happy Valley game here at home.
Oh, yeah, it was, we started out better than we finished that game. And I can't remember, it seemed like it ended up being maybe 14 or 15 as far as the final. But, the start kind of, they were playing catch-up. And, when you play catch-up from the start, it wears you down. And, when you finally get back in it, then we were able to put them away, that night. And, they're going to be a hard out in the tournament. I think West Green's going to be a hard out. In Johnson County, they get number 15 back. They're a good shooter. I mean, it's not just a three-team race.
Yeah. You've got some other teams that could surprise a lot of teams if they're not careful.
Yes.
And then take me through that Johnson County game up there at Johnson County. I know that Johnson County trip always plays a part in the travel. I know sometimes it's kind of hard to get up and play that type of game after traveling for so long. Take me through that and take me through that whole entire night.
We played, our passion, our intensity that night. That's one thing we lacked in the West Green game. I've talked to our players. You've got to play with that same type of intensity and passion, just like you did at South Green in the first half. Down there at South Green, we couldn't play better. Well, you would have thought with that long trip to Johnson County that we'd come out flat, but we come out, Isaiah had one of his better games. He had 26 points, and
Yeah.
Christian 23. We had 4 in double figures. I believe Brayson had 11, and Brock Rush 12. Those are the type of nights, when you're spreading the ball like that, it makes life easier on our inside game.
Whenever you have 4 players in double digits, there's not many times you're going to lose a game like that, too. Whenever you can put 4 in double digits, that always gives you a great shot to win.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to take here for the remainder of the season. I mean, we've got some very tough games, and, hopefully, we'll have that moving forward. In the West Green game, we only had 1 in double figures.
Yeah.
And, that's something we've talked about, and, you've got to have, more than just 1 or 2 players. Like you said, if you have 3 and 4, sometimes I've seen teams with 5, you're going to win.
Yeah.
At least most of them.
Yeah. There's a very low chance that you're going to lose a game if you have 4 or 5 in double figures. The other team would probably have to have 4 or 5 in double figures also for that to happen. Take me through that West Green game on Tuesday night. I know at the beginning your team came out a little bit flat. I think you were behind 8 at the beginning, or 8 at the end of the first quarter. Then at halftime, climbed back in it a little bit. Going into the fourth quarter, I think you maybe had a 1-point lead, or you were down by 1. It was a 1-point margin either way. And then the fourth quarter, you were able to come out on top and leave with a victory. But talk about that game against West Green, and talk about what you had to do to kind of get them back into the mindset of playing winning basketball.
Well, we trailed before at halftime.
Okay.
Well, in the first minute, and I believe 50 seconds, so they went up 9, 37-28. Now here we are almost, 3 quarters in, and we've got 28 points.
Yeah.
So, we changed our defense a little bit in that second half. We held them, except we let them score the final 2 points of the game. 13 points from then on, because they ended up with 50 points or 52 points. So, the reason we won that game was our defense. And, I think we outscored them after that point 30, because we had ended up with 58, so it's 30-13 after that run. So, that changed and see the difference, defense and intensity of that after that run there. I mean, that was the difference. I mean, we come out flat, can't explain it, don't understand it. We're trying to fix it, because if we come out like that Friday night at home, it's going to be a long night, because South Green can jump on you from the start. I believe it might have been Happy Valley. Their score was 26-8 after the first quarter. I'm thinking, how do you bounce back from that?
They did the same to West Green recently also. They got out big in the first quarter.
It could have been that game.
Yeah, it might have been.
I mean, good grief.
That's a team that you're not going to want to get caught behind, too. We'll talk about that in just a moment, though. We've got to get a break in first, so we'll go ahead and take a few minutes to roll some messages on the screen, and when we get back, we'll preview that game against South Green and a few other important games left on Chucky Doke's schedule here on Grassroots Media.
Sand Meat Market, your ultimate meat destination. Step into Sand Meat Market for a curated selection of steaks, lamb, goat, and other quality foods. Each cut is meticulously crafted to exceed your expectations, promising a dining experience like no other. Elevate your dining experience and visit Sand Meat Market today. Indulge in the exceptional quality and taste that only Sand Meat Market can provide. Join us on this culinary journey and savor the difference. Tommy's Plumbing has provided professional plumbing services to the residents of Greenville, Tennessee for over 30 years. Our experience and reputation have helped us grow our business to add locations in Jonesboro, Tennessee. Tommy's Plumbing is local and family owned, and we offer a full line of plumbing services, such as kitchen faucet, shower faucets, commodes, and bathroom faucets, as well as drain cleaning. We also provide outside plumbing work, such as septic and sewer drain cleanouts, as well as repair and replace. Tommy's Plumbing pretty much does it all. Tommy's Plumbing is licensed, bonded, and insured. Our quality workmanship and passion to provide our clients with expert service is second to none. We guarantee we have the best warranty around. For all your plumbing needs, give Tommy's a call at 638-3662.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Sand Meat Market Sam Broyles Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the Chucky Doke Black Knights basketball team. As always, I'm sitting here with Black Knights head coach Sam Broyles. So You've got 4 games from now until next Thursday. You've got 2 very, very, very important conference games, 2 non-conference games, and they're kind of sandwiched in between each other. You get the non-conference games outside of the conference games. Let's talk about the first one coming up on Saturday. You've got Cherokee. Times have been changed around a little bit. It's no longer the original 6:30 girls with the boys following after. It's 5 o'clock girls, 6:30 boys. Talk about what you expect playing Cherokee on Saturday.
Well, going down there and playing, it's always going to be more physical. You got a different set of referees, I believe Smoky Mountain. And we know it'll be more physical than what we're used to. And, I saw where Cherokee had beat North Green down there, so they have gotten better. And so we know, and I believe they beat West Green too.
I think believe they beat West Green twice.
They're playing them tonight.
Yeah.
They're playing West Green tonight, so that'll be interesting. And, not to look forward because we got such an important game Friday, but, thinking about our legs.
Yeah.
Playing back-to-back nights, but what choice do you have if you're going to get these games in because of the snow like we talked about the first? So we just got to toughen up and go play.
And then Saturday, of course, you've got South Green. That's the important game because
Friday, South Green, then Saturday.
That's true. Yeah. It is Friday. So Friday, South Green. Let's talk about that one. You could ask how important that game is, but I think everybody understands truly how important that game is because this one's kind of for all the marbles. You have a chance to finish first place in the conference with a win and with a win over Hampton. The ball is in your court. What's the feeling like going into that game against South Green?
Well, they've got a new player. They've added, got size, quickness, real good athlete. So, we've got that obstacle too. Good thing is it's at home. And, we've got to come out, like we talked about, with that intensity because if they come out, and jump on us like they have other teams, the biggest thing is being able to take their knockout punch and, just keep fighting. And, we've got to come out and try to jump on them. We got to play under control, not turn it over. Turnover's a big key and not let them kill us on the boards. Here last year, Buckner really hurt us on the boards. They out-rebounded us here at home. So, we got to take some pride in that and do a better job on the board starting with.
It's a tough stretch in your schedule because you have that game with South Green on Friday night. You have Cherokee then on Saturday night, and then you turn around and play Hampton on Monday night. That's a tough 3-game stretch. Tougher part is you have to go up to Hampton and play them on the road. That's another pivotal game. We've kind of talked about the scenario before where if you were to beat South Green going in, if Hampton were to beat you, then there's potentially a three-way tie at the top of the standings, but the ball is still in your court too. If you were able to beat South Green and then beat Hampton, you get that #1 seed in the conference. Can't look too far ahead past that South Green game and the Cherokee game, but what are your expectations when you go and play Hampton on the road?
Well, a lot will have to do whether you win or lose, but we're going up there with the mindset that we can win. It's been a minute because that's a hard place to play. A lot more physical at Hampton compared to, it seems like here at times. So, that aspect, we got to be ready. We're not going to get a lot of time to rest. We'll get Sunday, have a, walk through to get ready for that game. And we know Hampton is going to be ready. My goodness, the South Green game went, three overtimes? 92-90. And that was before they added a player. So we know that Hampton will be ready. And I saw where they beat UH the other night. So Hampton's playing really well right now.
And then following up with that, the last game that we've got to preview, you've got Cosby, which I believe is your senior night. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
On Thursday.
Cosby beat us at Cosby. They've got a good team. They shot lights out that night. We talked about last time that they were hitting them from the eagle. That was almost half court.
Yeah.
So we know our defense, intensity's got to be a lot better. And I think it will be, being senior night and having so many seniors. I think they'll be ready.
Usually I ask everybody what is special about a senior class and talk about each senior and what makes them special to your group. Do we have enough time to do that with as many seniors as there are? There's 10 total, correct?
No, that'll take a couple of shows.
Yeah. You've got 10 seniors total. Talk about them as a whole. I know that they've
They
been
all
together
bring
since they were
something different too, and you know, and they have been. It seems like they've been together since Pee Wee's. You know, it's kind of sad in a way.
losing a team like that.
Yeah, you know, we've been close, 4 years now, and that bunch has been together forever through their booster club ball, middle school ball, travel ball. Yeah, it makes you sad.
Seeing their pictures when they're small kind of puts it in perspective too. When they were playing at those levels too, it's pretty cool to see now compared to the pictures that they take.
I saw
before
one
the
of
season.
Samuel that that his mom had of him. I get whenever he was in Pee Wee's or midgets one, I believe it's Pee Wee's, but he's at the free throw line, and he had that same look as a senior picture that I have when he went to the free throw line. And just the intensity and the look in his eye, like, he knew he was going to make it.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? From then to, how many years? You're talking about third or fourth grade.
After all those years, some of those things and traits still carry over.
It does.
But that's all we've got to preview for this part. Tough stretch of the schedule to kind of end things for you. You've got South Green, Cherokee, Hampton, and then Cosby. Hopefully next time we sit down, we get to talk about a few wins in that situation and maybe talk about you having the #1 seed in the conference tournament coming up. But
Well, that'd be nice.
a lot of basketball to be played from now until then, though. But until next time, Coach, appreciate you for sitting down with me once again. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Sand Meat Market Sam Broyles Show. Look forward to seeing you all next time here on Grassroots Media.